With nothing but a carton of milk, he managed to create a key to break out of prison. He flattened the carton and peeled off the thin plastic film. When the guard wasn't looking, he pressed the film onto the keypad lock on the cell door. This way, the guard's fingerprints would transfer to the film whenever he entered the code. Next, he dampened a piece of toilet paper, rolled it into a small ball, and discreetly jammed it into the window lock while the guard was removing his handcuffs. Every day, the guard would lock him up and go. Smoke on the rooftop for about 7 minutes. Bruce began observing everything around him and discovered the prison's weak point, a fire station next door. The closest access point was through solitary confinement. So he deliberately caused trouble during break time and got himself thrown into that cell. There, he tested the code, opened the door, and crawled into the fire station's air duct. He reached the locker room, quickly changed into a firefighter's uniform. Amid the chaos, Bruce slipped under a fire truck and rode out to the scene. While everyone was distracted, Bruce jumped into a car and escaped. But Bruce wasn't a real criminal, he was a professional escape artist. The CIA had hired him to test a mysterious high-security prison. Before the mission, his teammate implanted a tracker in his arm. However, as Bruce waited to be arrested, someone cut the tracker out of his arm and sedated him. When he woke up, he was standing face-to-face with a prison warden. Only then did Bruce realize he'd been betrayed by one of his former colleagues. The plan was to keep him locked up in this place forever. Each cell was made entirely of glass. Digging an escape route was impossible once. Inside, the prisoners were blasted with intense heat and light. Still, Bruce endured it, studying every detail of the cell. Eventually, he found a weakness: the rivets on the floor. Before he could act, Jack approached him and asked if he needed help. Bruce said he needed a thin, smooth metal sheet. Jack had himself taken to the interrogation room, where he provoked the warden on purpose. As the guards moved in to punish him, he grabbed a drain cover from the floor. Later, he handed it to Bruce. During lunch, they caused a distraction, and before the guards arrived, Bruce rolled a piece of bread into a small ball. Both men were tossed into solitary confinement. As soon as they got in, Bruce collapsed on the ground, faking pain to block the camera's view. He pulled out the metal plate and used it to reflect the heat lamp's light onto a floor rivet. After several seconds, the heat caused the steel rivet to expand by 0.03 cubic centimeters. Bruce quickly pried it loose with the metal sheet, stuffed the bread into his mouth, and gave Jack a signal to create a diversion. Jack began screaming and thrashing to draw the warden's attention to the monitors. Meanwhile, Bruce stood up and spread the chewed bread over the camera lens. Then he lifted the floor panel and climbed into the pipe system. He crawled up the drainage shaft until he reached the top. He pushed with all his strength and lifted the cover, but the moment he stuck his head out, he was stunned by what he saw.